Good day. Good day, eh? I'm going to start off tonight with Throwing It All Away by Zack Wilde. I need to minimize this. Feel the sunlight upon your face. Your little world, a little out of place. Couldn't hear the ocean, couldn't hear the waves. I know you meant to come back, I know you meant to stay. And oh, you judge, all you know, and all that you love. Yeah, 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 yeah. You see your smile, can you see my tears? I reach to hold you, but you ain't there. You left a hole so big, Lord, beyond repair. Try to find forgiveness and taking what we'll never share. And oh, you judge, all you know, all that you love. Ooh, you're just throwing it all away. Oh, no, you didn't catch it to see the light of day. Oh, you're just throwing it all away. Sand upon the shore, crashing waves came take you away. All you judge, all you know, all that you love, with nothing to say. Oh, you're just throwing it all away. Oh, no, you didn't catch up, see the light of day. Oh, you're just throwing it all away. Sand upon the shore, crashing waves came take you away. There we go. That was Throwing It All Away by Zack Wilde. Mute that. There we go. So 4 years ago now, I suffered from a hemorrhagic stroke, which is a brain bleed. It caused me to have no short-term to long-term memory and aphasia. That's the stroke. Let's see if I can remember how to spell aphasia. That's the aphasia right there. So those two things are my main. I have a hard time reading things that I can't remember names for things a lot of the time. So anomic aphasia or anomic aphasia is the aphasia I have. Throwing it all away to the played folder. Let's do Bird on a Wire next by Leonard Cohen. This isn't Bird on a Wire. I remember you well in the Chelsea Hotel. You were talking so brave and so sweet. giving me head on the unmade bed, while the limousines wait in the street. And those were the reasons, that was New York. We were running for the money and flesh, and that was cold love for the workers in song, probably still is, but those of them left. And you got away, oh, didn't you, baby? You just turned your back on the crowd. And you got away, I never once heard you say that I need you. I don't need you, I need you, I don't need you. And all of that jiving around. I don't mean to suggest that I've loved you the best. I can't keep track of each fallen robin. I remember you well in the Chelsea Hotel, that's all. I don't think of you that often. There you go, that was Chelsea Hotel, not the full version, because I wasn't looking at the chords to it, and I played the entirely wrong song when I started to play. That's okay. Things happen. Move Chelsea Hotel to the played folder, because it's played now. Let's do, Times Like These by the Foo Fighters now. I'm a one-way motorway, the one that drives away and follows you back home. I'm a streetlight shining, wildlife blinding, lighting, turning off and on. It's times like this you learn to live again. It's times like this you give and give again. It's times like this you learn to love again. It's times like this, it's time and time again. I'm the new day rising, brand new sky to hang your stars upon a night. I'm a little divided, stay a runaway and leave it all behind. It's times like this you live and live again. It's times like this you give and give again. It's times like this you learn to love again. It's times like this, it's time and time again. Like this you live and live again. It's times like this you give and give again. It's times like this you give and time again. That was Times Like These by the Foo Fighters. Ba, ba, da, ba, da, ba, da, ba. Is this Sweet Jesus by Pride and Glory? Talking down the line, I nearly lost my mind, nearly lost you, babe. I think about you, child, through my sick and twisted smile, nearly lost you, babe. Shaking in my hands, I just don't understand, nearly lost you, mama. Loving just to hate, a war that just won't wait, nearly lost you, babe. My eyes, they have gone blind. past I just can't find. A flower to be saved, a flower for your grave. Times I just don't know. Oh, sweet Jesus, where'd I go? What it was to be was kinda clear to see. Nearly lost you, babe. What, backing down cause I ain't nobody's clown. Nearly lost you, babe. Breaking down inside. Nearly lost you, babe. We'll ramble one more time until the day I die. Nearly lost you, babe. My eyes, they have gone blind. Past I just can't find. A flower for your grave, a flower for your grave. Times I just don't know. Oh, sweet Jesus, where'd I go? They have gone blind. Past I just can't find. A flower to be saved, a flower for your grave. Times I just don't know. Oh, sweet Jesus, where'd I go? I real that was Sweet Jesus by Pride and Glory. Next, we're gonna do my favorite Daniel Johnston song, True Love Will Find You in the End. Will find you in the end. You'll find out just who is your friend. Don't be sad, I know you will. Don't give up until true love will find you in the end. This is a promise with a catch. So only if you're looking will it find you. 'Cause true love is searching too. How will it recognize you unless you step out into the light? Don't be sad, I know you will. Don't give up until true love will find you in the end. Don't be sad, I know you will. Don't give up until true love will find you in the end. Don't be sad, I know you will. Don't give up until true love finds you in the end. There we go. That was True Love Will Find You in the End by Daniel Johnston. Oh, let's do some. This is Green Day, Good Riddance, Time of Your Life. Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this that's right. Hope you had the time of your life. Something unpredictable. In the end, that's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable. In the end, that's right. I hope you had the time of your life. There we go. That was Good Written Time of Your Life by Green Day. Not one of my favorite songs of all time, but one of my brother's favorite songs. Really not a bad song, though. It's just, I was more into, like, Black Sabbath at the time, I guess. It's weird the way that, like, you can go through parts of your life where certain bands just are more important than others. Because for a while it was heavy metal or nothing for me. I appreciated nothing but the heavy metal music. So, let's do "Sunshine" by Nazareth next. Sunshine. Every single day helps to light the way, and darling, right before my eyes, it don't come as no surprise. And it's easy loving you. And baby, till you came along, there was always something wrong around me. There was emptiness, of course, but it's alright. And it's easy loving you. And sunshine, having you around, you're the light I never found. And darling, every minute you're away, but it's brighter, and it's easy loving you. It's easy loving you. And it's easy loving you. So I've spoke about my brain bleed already. I used to have headaches every single day before my brain blew up. Point I would take 2 extra strength Tylenol and an ibuprofen twice a day at least. Sometimes more than that for the Tylenol. Just massive migraines every single day. I had no idea what was going on then. I had no idea that I was getting ready to have a brain bleed. Like I said, when they drilled the hole in my head, they said the blood shot out and hit the wall. So that's PTSD when you hear that too, by the way. So don't hear that if you can help it. But it's not a memory I have access to, so it's not PTSD that's solvable. So it's not that bad. But yeah, I used to have a great memory, now I have no memory. And that makes things a lot more difficult. But Let's play you another song now. Let's play some Leonard Cohen. What by Cohen am I going to play? How about So Long Marianne? Little darling one, I'd like to try to read your palm. I used to think I was some kind of gypsy boy before you let me take you home. Now so long, Marianne, it's time that we began to laugh and cry and cry and laugh about it all again. You know I love to live with you, but you make me forget so very much. I forget to pray for the angels, and then the angels, they forget to pray for us. So long, Marianne, it's time that we began to laugh and cry and laugh about it all again. Young, deep in the green lilac park, you held on to me like I was a crucifix, and we went kneeling through the dark. So long, Marianne, it's time that we began to laugh and cry and laugh about it all again. The letters, they'll say you're beside me now. So why do I feel so all alone? Standing on a ledge and your fine spider web is fastening my ankles to a stone. So long, Marianne, it's time that we began to laugh and cry and laugh about it all again. Blade. You left when I told you I was curious. I never said that I was brave. Now so long, Marianne, it's time that we began to laugh and cry and laugh about it all again. Really are such a pretty one. I see you've gone and changed your name again. And just when I climb this old mountainside to wash my eyelids in the rain, so long, There we go. That was So Long Marianne by Mr. Leonard Cohen. Ba-ba-da-ba. So I'm a Window by Matthew Good. I'm a window, you're the frame. I'm a gigolo, you're in pain. I'm the highlights, you're the game. If I'm a window, you're the rain. Everybody get off the floor tonight, alright. Everybody get off the floor tonight, alright. Everybody get off the floor tonight, alright. Everybody get off the floor tonight. Screw the whistle, come be the train. Don't fuck the princess, do the maid. Don't make nothing, just go get paid. If I'm a window, you're the rain. Everybody get off the floor tonight, alright. Everybody get off the floor tonight, alright. Everybody get off the floor tonight, alright. Everybody get off the floor tonight. Diving in and out of trash. Something down there's got a match. Gone away, boys. We're gone away, boys. The waitress, she just brings us drinks and tries to guess what we all think, but it's just noise. Always it's just noise. Through the side door in the rain, somebody's sick and loves to blame. Gone away, boys. We're gone away, boys. If I'm a window, you'll be the wind. If I'm a window, come break it, break it, break it. Really, that was I'm a Window by Mr. Matthew Good. First time I heard that album, I was at work and it came on during a midnight shift. I think it was like 11 p.m. or something like that. And I realized it was a great album. Back when the radio actually had reasonable music sometime, they no longer do. This is Happy Together by the Turtles. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love. Hold her tight, so happy together. I would call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me. And ease my mind, imagine how the world would be. Very fine, so happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life. Me and you and me, no matter how we toss the dice, it has to be. The one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life. Me and you and me, no matter how we toss the dice, has to be. The only one for me is you for me, so happy together. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Me and you and me, no matter how we toss the dice, happy together. Together. So happy together. How is the weather? So happy together. Happy together. Happy together. There we go. That was Happy Together by the Turtles. This is a Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen. Heard there was a secret chord David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift. Baffled kings composing Hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Faith was strong, but you needed proof. Saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to her kitchen chair, she broke your throne, she cut your hair. From your lips she drew the hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. You say I took the name in vain. I don't even know the name, and if I did, well, really, what's it to you? The blaze of a light in every word. It doesn't matter which you've heard, the holy or the broken. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I did my best, it wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so I learned to touch. I told the truth, I didn't come to fool you. And even though it all went wrong, I'll stand before the Lord a song. Nothing on my tongue but hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Now baby, I've been here before. I know this room and I've walked this floor. I used to live alone before I knew you. I've seen your flag on the marble arch. Our love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. hallelujah. There was a time you let me know it's really going on below, but now you never show it to me, do you? Remember when I moved and you and the holy dove was moving too, when every breath we drew was hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Now maybe there's a God above. All I ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. It's not a cry you hear at night, it's not somebody who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. There we go. That was Hallelujah by Mr. Leonard Cohen. And that is an amazing song. Fairly overplayed now, honestly, especially since his passing. But a song I love thoroughly, regardless. It's funny when you think of this song and then you realize you've already played it. Because it's no longer in your list. And if it's not in your list, that means it's in your played folder. And if it's in your played folder, that means you've played it. And that's difficult for me to express because I've only been live for 47 minutes and I don't have those memories anymore. Ba-ba-da-ba. This is Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain? Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail, smile from a veil? Do you think you can tell? Did they get you to trade your heroes for gold, hot ashes for trees, hot air for a cool breeze, cold comfort for change? Did you exchange walk on part in the war, or lead role in the cage? was Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. I'm going to play Darker with the Day by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds next. This is a song I originally had learned on piano years ago. But the brain bleed I've spoke about a couple times now, it erased the memories of playing the piano ever. I don't remember how to play this song on the piano. But I remember, actually, you know what? I want to tune my guitar before I play anything, because I don't know how well we are in tune or not. E, B, G, D, A, E. We're perfectly in tune, yay! Yeah, my brain bleed that I spoke about a couple times, it ruined my memories of playing the piano entirely. To the point where I don't remember how to play anything, honestly, and makes me sad. Take a final walk. The tide of public opinion had started to abate. The neighbors, blessed them, it turned out to be all talk. I could see the frightened faces peering at me through the gate, and I was looking for an end to this, for some kind of closure. Time moved so rapidly, I had no hope of keeping track of it, and I thought of my friends who had died of exposure. Remembered other ones that died from the lack of it, and in my best shoes, I started falling forward down the street. I stopped at a church and jostled through the crowd. Love followed behind me, just panting at my feet, as the steeple tore the stomach from a lonely little cloud. Inside I sat, seeking the presence of a God. I leafed through the pictures in a leather-bound book, and I found a woolly lamb dozing in an issue of blood, and a gilded Jesus shivering on a fisherman's hook. Babe, it seems so long since you've been gone away, and I just gotta say that it grows darker with the day. Back on the street I saw a great big smiling sun. It was a good day, an evil day, and all was bright and blue, and it seemed to me that most destruction was being done by those who could not choose between the two. Amateurs, dilettantes, hacks, cowboys, clones. Streets grown with Little Caesars, Napoleons, and guns. Building blocks in their tiny plastic phones, counting on their fingers with their crumbs down their fronts. Passed by your garden, saw you with your flowers, camellias, magnolias, and azaleas so sweet. You stood there invisible in the panicking crowd. You looked so beautiful in the rising heat. Smells smoke, see little fires bursting on the lawn. People carry on regardless, listening to their hands. Great cracks appear in the pavement, the earth yawns, bored and disgusted to do us down, babe. It seems so long since you've been gone away, and I just gotta say that it grows darker with the day. Streets are frozen, now I come and go, longing for something I do not know. My father sits slumped in the deepening snow, so I search in and out, above, about, and below. It seems so long since you've been gone away, Real, that was Darker with the Day by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. I'm sure I'm missing like a solo section of that, but that's fine. It's interesting. I remember every chord I ever learned on the guitar, and I don't remember how to play any chords on the piano. That's mind-blowing, honestly, because the piano should be easier. It's notes on it, pressing the keys with your fingers. But I never learned it with writing. That was just all in my brain, and that portion of my brain was erased, I guess. The joys of my brain blowing up. Like I said, hemorrhagic stroke, which no short-term to long-term memory. No previous access to my previous long-term memories. Those are slowly returning, though. All my older long-term memories have returned. My newer ones are slowly returning. Still nothing post-brain bleed other than, like, the birth of my daughter. And, my fiance. Things like that. We're gonna do Old Man by Neil Young. There we go. That was Old Man by Neil Young. This is a lullaby by Sean Mullins. And G/B is what? That's this one. She grew up with the children of the stars, the Hollywood hills and the boulevards. Parents threw big parties, everyone was there. She hung out with folks like Dennis Hopper and Bob Seger and Sonny and Cher. Everyone feels safe in this bar on Fairfax. From the stage, you can tell that just before she hangs her head to cry, I sing to her a lullaby. I sing, everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye. Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye, rockabye. Still live with her mom outside the city, down the street about half a mile. And all her friends tell her that she's so pretty, but she'd be a whole lot prettier if she smiled once in a while. 'Cause even her smile looks like a frown. She's seen her share of devils in this angel's town. Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye. Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye. I told her I ain't so sure about this place. It's hard to play a gig in this town and keep a straight face. Seems like everybody down here's got a plan. Kinda like Nashville with a tan. And everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye. Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye. Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye. Be alright. Rockabye, 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 bye, bye. Well, that was a lullaby by Sean Mullins. I learned that for someone in one of my group meetings. Haven't played it for him yet. I'm not a good friend, apparently, but this is The Sun Shines Down on Me by Daniel Johnson. Like I said, he was a young man who suffered from a lot of issues. I'm getting closer to the fact. I've turned my back on silly dreams. I'm walking down this lonely road. A heavy load, didn't bother to bring it. The sun shines down on me. I feel like I deserve it. The sun shines down. I'm hiding now where you can't see. behind a wall. Didn't bother to move. I'm crawling down, slowly down the road, and feeling for a punchline. The sun shines down on me. I feel like I deserve it. The sun shines down. I'm walking down an empty road. It's empty now, 'cause I'm on it. I'm getting closer to a home I can carry and walk with me. The sun shines down on me. I feel like I deserve it. The sun shines down on me. I feel I have to earn it. The sun shines down on. That's Sun Shines Down on Me by Daniel Johnston. He suffered a very difficult life. He passed away not that long ago. But amazing songwriter. This is Silent Army in the Trees by Mr. Matthew Good. Trade for company, those plastic guns and infantry. Silent army in the trees. This ain't the woods behind the house. Ain't nobody screaming out for you to come inside me. Holding your friends and watching them bleed. Camouflage on Halloween. Plastic bag and M16. Door to door and house to house. Ain't nobody handing out. Nothing's ever what it seems. Even if it is justified dreams with plastic guns and infantry. Silent army in the trees. Now, baby, won't you let me down? The world away and still somehow can't shake the feeling that you're out. Another man's arms wrapped tight around you. Running red lights in our home bees. Never thought I'd live to see the day I'd be afraid of little kids playing in the streets. Now this ain't the woods behind the house. Ain't nobody screaming out for you to come inside me. Holding your friends and watching them bleed. Side a little bit, yet nothing's ever what it seems. Even if it is, that's justified means with plastic guns and infantry. Silent army in the trees. I'm that was Silent Army in the Trees by Mr. Matthew Good. Move that to the played folder. This is Between the Lines by Matt Anderson. Come out of nowhere and treat you to wine. He'll speak to your body and he'll sing to your mind. You follow him home, he'll show you a time. Keep your heart between the lines. Roses for healing and chocolate for time. Kisses to make her to apologize. He leans in with innocent eyes. Keep your heart between the lines. What's your hurry? Why so fast? These days lay before you, soon be your past. Don't settle for love, that'll leave you behind. Only take the best from whatever you find. No matter how hard, you got to try. Keep your heart between the lines. No matter how hard, you've got to try. Keep your heart between the lines. Oh, that was Between the Lines by Matt Anderson. I played it a little fast that time, but that's okay. It's a cover I'm getting better at, considering I wrote the chords just the other day. It's strange that I'm able to learn new music, because I can't remember things, like, at all. And music should be included in that, but it's not, apparently. To the point where I can even do chords for a song and learn that song. No idea. This is Don't Panic by Coldplay. This was asked for me to learn by Engineering Study Hall, Azu, who's in the chat sometimes here. Bones sinking like stones, all that we've fought for. Homes, places we've grown, all that we're done for. We live in a beautiful world. Thank you, Azu. This is for you. We live in a beautiful world. I'm gonna start again. Bones sinking like stones, all that we've fought for. Homes, places we've grown, all that we're done for. We live in a beautiful world. Yeah, we do, yeah, we do. We live in a beautiful world. Bones sinking like stones, all that we've fought for. Homes, places we've grown, all that we're done for. someone to lean on. Azu, I learned that for you, because you asked me to, and I'm not very good at it, but that's really not that bad, considering that's entirely new to my brain, including hearing the song for the first time. That's a kind of a pat myself on the back thing that I'm able to do that, because that's, yeah, really interesting. Oh, thank you so much. I'm just glad I can do that, because, like I said, the fact that I'm able to do that at all is amazing. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I didn't realize I learned one new song after my brain injury, and that's not something I've realized I had done at all. That is something I could do. Until like 2 years after that, when I went, wait a minute, I already learned a song after my brain blew up. I can probably learn more, and then I learned more, and I'm like, I can definitely learn more. I'll play the first song I learned, which is the one my mom asked me to learn, which is Better Boat by Kenny Chesney, written by Travis Meadows. Again, not a fan of country music, but it's interesting. I'm able to learn music, so. I'm really glad you ended up realizing that. This is one of the highest points of my day. Lurking in your streams and listening. Oh, thank you so much. I ain't lonely, but I spend a lot of time alone. More than I'd like to. I'm okay with staying home. My, how the last few months have changed. I'm smiling more despite the pain. I breathe in, I breathe out. Got friends to call who let me talk about what ain't working, what's still hurting. All the things I feel like cussing out. Now and then I let it go. I ride the waves I can't control, learning how to build a better boat. I hate waiting, ain't no patience in these hands. I ain't complaining, sometimes it's hard to change a man. I think I'm stronger than I was. I let God do what He does. I breathe in, I breathe out. Got friends to call who let me talk about what ain't working, what's still hurting. All the things I feel like cussing out. Now and then I let it go. I ride the waves I can't control, learning how to build a better boat. I breathe in, I breathe out. Got friends to call who let me talk about what ain't working, what's still hurting. All the things I feel like cussing out. Now and then I let it go. I ride the waves I can't control. If it's working, I don't know. When I get done, the thing may not float. Learning how to build a better boat. Really, that was Better Boat by Kenny Chesney. Yep, like I said, was never a fan of country music, but that is something I learned and didn't realize it was something I was capable of learning until that point. This is House of the Rising Sun by the Animals. There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and it's been the ruin of many poor boy, and God, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She sold my new blue jeans. My father was a gambling man way down in New Orleans. And the only thing a gambler needs is a suitcase and a gun. And the only time you keep him satisfied is when he's all a drunk. Children not to do what I have done, not to spend your life in sin and misery in the house of the rising sun. Got one foot on the platform, the other is on the train, and I'm going back to New Orleans to swing that ball and chain. There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and it's been the ruin of many poor boy, and God, I know I'm one. Really, that was House of the Rising Sun by the Animals. We're gonna play Hold On by Tom Waits next. Need a capo for this one also. On 3? Am I on 3 properly? I am on 3 properly. They hung a sign up in our town. If you live it up, you won't live it down. She left the Monte real sun, just like a bullet leaves a gun. With charcoal eyes and Monroe hips, he went and took that California trip. The moon was gold, her hair like wind. She said, don't look back, just come on, Jim. Oh, oh, you've got to hold on, hold on. My baby gotta hold on, take my hand, I'm standing right here, you gotta hold on. He gave her a dime store watch and a ring made from a spoon. Everybody's looking for someone to blame. You can share my bed, you can share my name. So go ahead and call the cops. You don't meet nice girls in coffee shops. She said, baby, I still love you. Sometimes there's nothing left to do. Oh, oh, you've got to hold on, hold on. Oh, baby, gotta hold on, take my hand, stand right here, gotta hold on. God bless your crooked little heart. St. Louis got the best of me. I missed your broken China voice. I wish you were still here with me. So build it up and wreck it down, and you burn your mansion to the ground. There's nothing left to keep you here when you're falling behind this big blue world. Oh, oh, you've got to hold on, hold on. Baby, gotta hold on, take my hand, I'm standing right here, you gotta hold on. Down by the Riverside Motel, it's 10 below and falling. By the 99-cent store, she closed her eyes and started swaying. It's so hard to dance that way when it's cold and there's no music playing. Old hometown so far away. Inside your head there's a record playing a song called Hold On, Hold On. Baby, gotta hold on, take my hand, I'm standing right here, you gotta hold on. Hold on, hold on. Baby, gotta hold on, take my hand, I'm standing right here, you gotta hold on. Hold on, hold on. Baby, gotta hold on, take my hand, I'm standing right here, you gotta hold on. That one was Hold On by Tom Waits. We're gonna do some Tragically Hip next. This is Ahead by a Century by the Tragically Hip. First thing we climb a tree, and maybe then we talk, or sit silently and listen to our thoughts, the illusions of someday, cast in the golden light. No dress rehearsal right, this is our life. And that's when the hornet stung me. I had a feverish dream with revenge and doubt. Tonight we'd smoke them out. You were ahead by a century. You were ahead by a century. You were ahead by a century. Stare in the morning shroud, and then the day began. I tilted your cloud, you tilted my hand. Rain falls in real time, rain fell through the night. No dress rehearsal rag, this is our life. And that's when the hornet stung me. I had a red dream with revenge and doubt. Tonight we'd smoke them out. You are ahead by a century. 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 And disappointing you is getting me down. There we go. That was Ahead by a Century by the Tragically Hip. We're going to play some Leonard Cohen next. Let's double check my tuning again. Good. Close enough. Good. Good. Close enough. This one I need to drop to D for this song. If ever you're watching someone tune their guitar and they tune down and they stay there, that's not how you tune a guitar. You tune down past where you want to be, and then you tune up until you're in tune. Because it adds tension to the string when you're tuning up, and it releases tension from the string when you're tuning down. So you want to make sure that you're tuning up when you hit your string. Close enough. It's 4 in the morning, the end of December. I'm writing you now just to see if you're better. New York is cold, but I like where I'm living. There's music on Clinton Street all through the evening, and I hear you're building your little house deep in the desert. You're living for nothing now. I hope you're keeping some kind of record. Yes, and Jane came by with a lock of your hair. She said that you gave it to her, not that you planned to go clear. Did you ever go clear? And the last time we saw you, you looked so much older. Your famous blue raincoat was torn at the shoulder. You'd been to the station to meet every train. You came home without Lily Marlene, and you treated my woman to a flake your whole life. When she came back, she was nobody's wife. Well, I see you there with a rose in your teeth. One more thin gypsy thief. I see Jane's awake. She sends her regards. What can I tell you, my brother, my killer? What can I possibly say? I guess that I miss you and I guess I forgive you. I'm glad that you stood in my way. If you ever come by here, or for Jane, or for me, know your enemy is sleeping and his woman is free. Yes, and thanks for the trouble you took from her eyes. I thought it was there for good, so I never tried. And Jane came by with a lock of your hair. She said that you gave it to her, not that you planned to go clear. Sincerely, L. Cohen. There you go. That was Famous Blue Raincoat by Leonard Cohen. That is literally probably my favorite song of all time right there. That one returned very shortly after my brain bleed. Almost in its entirety. I remember having to tune down, and then I remembered most of the chords, but I messed up a little bit in the middle the first few times. But that was going all from memory at the time, and my memory doesn't really work. Like, I've been over, like it's awful. Let's do Simple Man next. Should be close. Over. Good enough. Well, Mama told me when I was young, come sit beside me, my only son, and listen closely to what I say. And if you do this, you'll help me some sunny day. Yeah. Now take your time. Don't live too fast. Troubles will come and they will pass. find a woman, you'll find love. And don't forget, my son, someone up above. Be a simple kind of man, and be a something you love and understand. And be a simple kind of man. You can do this, oh son, if you can. Forget your lust for a rich man's gold. All that you need is in your soul. Oh, you can do this, oh baby, if you try. All that I want for you, my son, is to be satisfied. Baby, be a simple kind of man. Be a something love and understand. Baby, be a simple kind of man. You can do this for me, son, if you can. Find yourself, follow your heart, nothing else. You can do this, oh baby, if you try. What I want for you, my son, is to be satisfied. Baby, be a simple kind of man. Be a something you love and understand. Be a simple kind of man. You can do this for me, son, if you can. There we go. That was Simple Man by Leonard Skinner. I have a sore butt. My buttocks is sore. Reference from movie? Movie reference. Crappers. Good movie. This is where the aphasia comes in, because I can't remember anything. Anomic aphasia and anomic aphasia? Like I said, aphasia. This one. Literally means without names, as it says there. Yep. It means I can't name things. Everything's just on the tip of my tongue, and when I go to name it, I'm like, no, you can't figure that out. Like, oh, crap. Crap. By Damien Rice. Don't hold yourself like that, you'll hurt your knees. I kissed your mouth and back, that's all I need. Don't build your world around volcanoes, melt you down, and what I am to you is not real. What I am to you is what you need. What I am to you is not what you mean to me. So give me miles and miles of mountains. I ask for the sea. Don't throw yourself like that in front of me. I kissed your mouth and back. It's all I need. Don't drag your love around. Volcanoes melt me down, and what I am to you is not real. What I am to you is not what you need. What I am to you is not what you mean to me. So give me miles and miles of mountains. I ask for this to you is not what I'm going through. It's like nothing new, just another phase of finding what I really need. Is what makes me bleed like a new disease. Still too young to treat. There we go. That was Volcano by Damien Rice. It's a great song and a beautiful song and a song I enjoy thoroughly. This is a song a guy I went to high school asked me to learn. This is Overkill by Colin Hay. To sleep, I'll think about the implications, diving in too deep, and possibly the complications, especially at night. I worry over situations, I know we'll be alright. Perhaps it's just my imagination. Day after day, my heart reappears. Night after night, my heartbeat shows the fear. Ghosts disappear and fade away. Sheets only brings exasperation. It's time to walk the streets and smell the desperation. At least it's pretty lights, a little variation. It nullifies the night from overkill. Day after day, my heart reappears. Night after night, my heartbeat shows the fear. Ghosts appear and fade away. Come back another day. situations that I know will be alright. It's just overkill. Day after day, my heart reappears. Night after night, my heartbeat shows the fear. Ghosts appear and fade away. Ghosts appear and fade away. Ghosts appear and fade away. Mr. Derper. Derper, 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 derper. How's it going? Oh, that's an awful name. I looked at your remote to see who it was by. I like the first 3 letters, but it's fairly awful. How's it going so far today, sir? I is good. I is also good. Chillin' and vibing. How is you, Bray? I'm pretty good. I had a nice spicy hot shower just before streaming, and I'm like, all right, I feel clean and all is well. I played the song that As You asked me to learn already, which was it took me a couple tries to get it right, but I got it, and it worked out pretty well. Torn and Tattered by Pride and Glory. Take a listen, child, if you can. Gonna tell you a story now of a broken man. Done build his walls, son. Times they all caved in. Lost what I love now and kill him in the end. Lord, take it here to heaven. Feel like I don't belong. Lord, if life was music, yours would be one torn and tattered song. Child, would it end the same? Never ending feeling, never sinking low. Lost a light in your tunnel, child, lost which way to go. Lord, taking me to heaven. Feel like I don't belong. Was Torn and Tattered by Pride and Glory. It's the first band Zack Wilde was in. I think that one was recorded before. He was in Ozzy. Ozzy's guitarist. I don't know if he's still Ozzy's guitarist right now though. think he was replaced recently, and he did that touring concert thingy with Steve Vai and Yngwie Malmsteen. But I don't know when that actually happened. Ba, 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 ba. Let's do Gravedigger next. This is Gravedigger by Dave Matthews. Oh no. Oh no, what? Cyrus Dang into 1913 made his great-grandchildren believe you could live to 103. 103 is forever when you're just a little kid. So Cyrus Jones, he lived forever. Gravedigger, when you dig my grave, make it shallow so that I can feel the rain. Gravedigger. Nero's 1903 to 1954. She lost both of her babies in the Second Great War. You should never have to watch only children lowered in the ground. You should never have to bury your own babies. Gravedigger, when you dig my grave, make it shallow so that I can feel the rain. Gravedigger. Ring around the rosy, pocket full of posy, ashes to ashes, we all fall down. Gravedigger, when you dig my grave, make it shallow so that I can feel the rain. Gravedigger. Little Mikey costs on 67 to 75. He rode his bike like the devil until the day died. When he grows up, he wants to be Mr. Vertigo on flying trapeze. 1940 to 1992. Gravedigger, when you dig my grave, won't you make it shallow so that I can feel the rain? Gravedigger, when you dig my grave, won't you make it shallow so that I can feel the rain? Gravedigger, when you dig my grave, won't you make it shallow so that I can feel the rain? Gravedigger, 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 Gravedigger. There we go. That was Gravedigger by Dave Matthews. I learned that song years and years ago, and it's crazy the way memories return and don't return all at once, or don't return at all. Because it took me a long time to remember that song, and even longer to return this one. This is going to be Blue Skies by Tom Waits next. This is one of the ones I relearned recently, and I had to actually fight to relearn this one, as opposed to some of them that just came back instantly. I don't understand the way memory works or doesn't work, but I guess it depends on like where you store it in your brain and how it's stored, because like I said, there's some songs that returned immediately. When I was still in the hospital, I knew them. And other ones I've only relearned recently. get out of bed. Blue skies shine on my face. Give me another woman to take her place. Ain't got no money, cupboards are bare. No cigarettes, kids got nothing to wear. She walked out without a word. Now the only sound left is the morning birds sing. Blue skies over my head. Another reason to get out of bed. Blue skies shine on my face. Give me another woman to take her place. Blue skies over my head. Another reason to get out of bed. Blue skies shine on my face. Give me another woman to take her place. Give me another woman to take her place. Oh, really? That was Blue Skies by Tom Waits. Coffee. Oh, coffee. Thank you, sir. When I had COVID, I was driving back to the border, and oh, thank you so much, Azu. And I had a bit of a headache, and I'm like, oh no, I have a headache. That's a sign of COVID, and I already knew I had it, and I'm like, this gets bad, I'm gonna have to go to the hospital. And I realized I haven't had any coffee. So I stopped and bought a coffee, and then my headache went away, and I'm like, that was a caffeine addiction. I'm way too addicted to coffee. Yeah, I'm way addicted to coffee, like more than anyone should be. Like this is my small coffee cup. Soda pop. Sody pop. I understand, because it's caffeine. Caffeine is addictive no matter where it comes from. Soda has too much sugar for me, though. I eat fairly healthily, I guess is the best thing I can say. When I talked to him, he said he drinks about a case of soda a week. Sweet Jesus. I was like, are you an alien? Yeah, I think so. That sounds like my brother, though. My brother drinks so much soda, it's ridiculous. Like, Ryan, it will kill you. And he's like, that's okay. I'm like, all right. All right, as long as we're clear. But he doesn't want to hear anything else. But he doesn't do anything else bad, so I don't want to bother him about it. I understand. It's like when before my brain blew up, I was a heavy smoker, and now it's just coffee. I drink so much black coffee, it's ridiculous. I was like, if I ever like quit smoking, I'm gonna have to give up coffee because I associated them together. And then I realized afterwards that I don't need to give up coffee. But I don't think that I would have been able to quit drinking or quit smoking had I not had a hemorrhagic stroke. As awful as that sounds. Oh yeah, I have an addictive personality, so anything I touch that's addictive, I will become addicted to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. So I'm like, when I had the throat surgery for the right there where they cut into my throat, they gave me pain pills. I'm like, please don't give me pain pills. And they're like, well, you might need them. I'm like, I won't need them because I won't take them. Yeah, addicted. I'm English. I can get addicted to anything easily. So I just don't take anything that's addictive. Solves the problem. I avoided MMOs for that reason too. Yeah, I understand completely because that's the same thing I've done. Like, I'm just not going to play that because I don't need to be addicted to things, so I'm just not going to do that. Yep, I completely understand where you're coming from and exactly the thought process you have there. I started now and it's like, yikes, it was a bit of a mistake. Yeah. Say hello. Remain close to me. No goodbye, suicide mystery. The ride in your brain turns a wheel connected to your guts, and all your faults are in me, and all your faults in me. What would you say if we lived on TV? Besides all the things they told you to, and all the things they told you to, and all the things they told you to, and all the things they told you to. We're stuck inside our own machine. Apparitions. You say hello. Well, is it strange where you are? Where you used to be kind of free, are they laughing at you, the ride in your brain rules the world from the comfort of your living room. You tell me, are we leaving soon? The comfort of your living room. Tell me, are we leaving soon? We're stuck inside our own machine. Apparition. No. That's Apparitions by Matthew Good. I'll copy down and it's in chat so you can actually see how to spell his name, because it's silly. It's an amazing song by an amazing artist. He's got like a whole bunch of albums now. Canadian though, so you probably have never heard of him. CanCon, no problem. Great music. CanCon, but I'm not saying CanCon to be a joke in this time. It's just that he's Canadian, so it's like when I played Neil Young. It's like, yeah, he's Canadian, and that makes it CanCon, but I'm not playing it for that purpose. There's songs I like to make that joke about, but not that one. Not anything by him. Well, you wonder why I always dress in black, why you never see bright colors on my back, and why does my appearance seem to have a somber tone? There's a reason for the things that I have on. I wear the black for those who are beaten down, living in in the hopeless, hungry side of town. And I wear it for the prisoners who have long since paid their crime. They're just there 'cause they're a victim of the time. I wear the black for those who've never read or listened to the words that Jesus said about the road to happiness, belong and charity, to you and me. Mighty fine, I do suppose. The streak of lightning, cars and fancy clothes, just a reminder. Sick and lonely old, the reckless ones and the bad trips are untold. I wear the black in the morning and lives in places of 100 young men. I wear it for the thousands who have died, believing that the Lord was on their side. I wear it for another 100,000 men who died, believing that we all were on their side. I wear the things we never know, all the things that are changing, done we know. And still we start to make more than every night. Never seen to wear a suit of white. Everything's okay. I'll carry out darkness on my back. Everything is brighter and the man in black. Oops, missed a chord at the end. For the brighter on the man in black. Ta-da! I need to make alert command. I don't have one of those yet. Sorry. Stepping away for a bit and I'll get some dinner. See you after if I'm not too late for the next stream. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here regardless, Azu. That's awesome. Sold My Soul by Zack Wilde. Without you, woman, by my side, I'm contemplating suicide, torn from all my pride. Man tells me, son, that ain't the way. Gonna make a deal with you, child. Gonna live another day. Just sign right here, child. Everything'll be alright. Ooh, ain't nothing I wouldn't do. Ooh, doing everything for you. Love's all I know and ever knew. Therefore, I have sold my soul for you. This man you worth my while. He'd return me to my woman, return me to my smile. It's all I ask for in this life. Whatever's wrong, son, he told me he'd make right. Just sign right here, child. Everything'll be alright. Ooh, ain't nothing I wouldn't do. Ooh, all and everything for you. Love's all I know and ever knew. Therefore, I have sold my soul for you. All for you. That's Sold by Soul by Zack Wilde. Again, this is one of the songs I don't have any chords written down for. It's one of the ones that returned to my brain. Not early, though. It's strange the way that some of the songs returned all at once, but later. And some of them returned all at once immediately. But it's strange for when they return all at once because I don't remember not remembering them then. As strange as that sounds. To the point where those ones I don't have any chords written for or anything. That's just how I remembered it. So here's another one like that. This is a Machine Gun Man by Pride and Glory. Got you before, caught in the shuffle, child, everyday war, searching for some trouble, Lord, I'm sure you can find. Spend your whole life fighting, son, with your dying time. It's a shame, Lord. Trigger be his only friend. It's a shame, oh yeah, but it ain't, no, we're gonna end. That's right, he's a pocket full of hate. Don't give a damn while fate awaits. The Machine Gun Man, he ain't got no future, he ain't got no plan. While fate awaits. The Machine Gun Man, Machine Gun Man, oh yeah. Step aside, child. Mama, I'm eating my way. The only thing worth killing, Lord, be killing time. Only soul worth saving now, Mama, be saving mine. It's a shame, Lord. Trigger be his only friend. It's a shame, oh yeah, but it ain't, no, we're gonna end. That's right, it's a pocket full of hate. Don't give a damn what fate awaits. The Machine Gun Man, he ain't got no future, he ain't got no plan. While fate awaits. The Machine Gun Man, he keeps a shooting on Mama like any old fool would do. Oh, the life he leading ain't the one he has to choose. That's right. As he walks on out the door, his Mama breaks down to cry. Oh, as she waits, the Machine Gun Man, Machine Gun Man, oh man. Step aside, child. That was Machine Gun Man by Pride and Glory. Like I said, that one I remember almost in its entirety. I had forgotten one part just before the chorus there. And I had to look up that part to remember it because I'm like, wait a minute, there's more lyrics. I don't remember how to play that part. Everything returns in time, I guess, but... It says, Spoke in the Wheel and then Bridged Across, both by Black Label Society. Spoke in the Wheel was the first song I remembered in the hospital. The only song I remembered at first. So, the fact that it's a hard song to play, you'll see in a second. This was the only song I knew was interesting and difficult. And then Bridge to Cross returned afterwards, but I like to play them together because Bridge to Cross starts on the same chord that Spoke in the Wheel ends on. Okay, so here we go. Whether I've had my fill. Lord, I question whether I can take much more. You may laugh as I lay here bleeding, babe. No more afters or befores. Someday you'll know just how it feels. You left me there twice before, child. Someday you'll know just how it feels. Shattered, cast aside, stripped of your pride like you were never nothing special, babe. Make it feel another spoke in the wheel. Oh, in the wheel. So you say I'm just another dollar, babe. So you say I'm just another day. Once my blood was strong, but now it's jaded and it's thin. Unlike you, I can still tell right from wrong. Someday you'll know just how it feels. You left me there twice before, child. Someday you'll know just how it feels. Shattered, cast aside, stripped of your pride like you were never nothing special, babe. Made it feel another spoke in the wheel. Oh, in the wheel. Hands on the wheel. Straight ahead, left behind, second guessing all that I once said. I once said, oh, I once said, oh, I once said. I once said, oh, my spirit is bent, there's blood on my hands. The more I'm down, the less I understand. Once so found, now so lost, I ask no questions. One more bridge to cross. Oh, it's black and white. Wouldn't change, even if I could. I'll take what I'm handed, whether it's damned or if it's good. If it's good, oh, if it's good, oh, if it's good, oh, if it's good, oh, my spirit is bent, there's blood on my hands. The more I'm down, the less I understand. Once so found, now so lost, I ask no question. one more bridge to cross. There we go. That was Spoke in the Wheel and then Bridged Across, both by Black Label Society. I like to play those ones together, like I said, though, because the way the one ends and the next one begins. Move those both to the played folder. I want to go to a place that's right for me. Boop, 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 boop. I want to go to a place that's right for me. Talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, ooh. That's me singing. Without me playing the guitar, because I don't know how to play that song, but I apologize. That's the joys of being inside my head, in case you're ever curious. There's always music going on in my head. I spoke about being in the hospital and going, boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo, if I only had a brain. Making the nurse laugh and then feel guilty about laughing at a young man with a brain injury, and that made me very happy. Very, very, very happy. But it probably shouldn't have, because that sounds awful. But it's the joys of my humor. Even just after my brain blew up, I was able to put that joke together. Let's do Champions of Nothing by Matthew Good. Yeah, you're not wrong. Hollywood runs out of Indians. The bar stars melt, golden hair turns to glass. When Hollywood runs out of Indians, bubble bursts in the first to come forth by the last. There's something in the way you move makes me catch a cold. There's something in your too cool for school. Slide up and down my pole. There's something in the way you look that only casts a shadow. Hollywood runs out of Indians. Only the Indians will know. begging for a bed. Pass it around. I'd say what you'd say, and it makes me feel nothing. There's a car waiting to take me to something. The end of my rope, there's a new world, it's snowing. Globe, it starts shaking. Is it me not worth knowing? The white coats are melting. There's snow down the mountains, process the rivers for hallways and fountains. And I'd say what you'd say, it makes me feel nothing. So there's a man waiting to take me to something that I'm for, that I'm for. Oh, hell, it looks red in all its pictures. My sisters sing laments. Their skin blisters. Hallelujahs. Down on the floor. Nobody goes above decks. Not no more. Say the sun's still shining. You can feel it in your core. I ain't seen nobody move. Going for the door. I'd say what you'd say, and it makes me feel nothing. There's a car waiting to take me to something. The end of my rope, there's a new world, it's snowing. The globe, it starts shaking. Is it me not worth knowing? The white coats are melting. Snow down the mountains to process the rivers for hallways and fountains. And I'd say what you'd say, and it makes me feel nothing. So there's a man waiting to take me to something that I'm for, that I'm for. That I'm for. There we go. That was Champion to Nothing by Matthew Good. And Jinta, thank you so much for that follow. Thank you so much. I learned to play guitar like 20 years ago. Then, not that long ago, I suffered from a brain bleed. Right there. I suffered from a stroke 4 years ago now, I guess. That's 4 years ago, yeah. And it ruined my ability to transfer short-term memories into long-term memories, but I remembered all my music eventually. I don't really understand the way my brain works, but that's okay. But thank you so much for that follow. I appreciate that greatly. This is going to be Everybody Knows by Mr. Leonard Cohen. Yeah, it's really interesting. Still alive, and that's the boring part. Everybody knows the dice are loaded. Everybody rolls with their fingers crossed. Everybody knows the war is over. Everybody knows the good guys lost. Everybody knows the fight was fixed. The poor stay poor and the rich get rich. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. Everybody knows the boat is leaking. Everybody knows the captain lied. Everybody knows the broken feeling, like their father or their dog just died. But it's talking to their pockets. Everybody wants a box of chocolates and a long stem rose. Everybody knows. Everybody knows you love me, baby. Everybody knows it's really you. Everybody knows that you've been faithful. Give or take a night or two. Everybody knows you've been discreet. There's so many people you just had to meet without your clothes. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that now or never. Everybody knows it's me or you. Everybody knows you live forever. Give or take a night or two. Everybody knows you've been... Everybody knows the deal is rotten. Old Black Joe's still picking cotton. With bows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows the plague is coming. Everybody knows it's moving fast. Everybody knows a naked man or woman just shining artifacts of the past. Everybody knows the deal is dead. Meet her on your bed. It must disclose. Everybody knows. Everybody knows you're in trouble. Everybody knows what you've been through. From the Calvary to the beach of Malibu. Everybody knows you're coming apart. Take one last look at your broken heart. But then bows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. Yay! That's Everybody Knows by Mr. Leonard Cohen. I don't have a way of inviting you guys to pick music for me yet, but I'm working on that. I have a friend who's writing a music bot for me. So what music genre do you like, and what guitar do you have? This is a Highburn acoustic guitar. As you can see, it says Highburn. It's nothing. It's a guitar I bought off Amazon years ago. It was like $120, and I set it up fairly well, and then I had someone set it up even better for me recently. Um, I like a lot of I used to like heavy metal, like Black Sabbath and stuff like that, and I still do. It's just I don't have much of that to listen to anymore. Now I like a lot of like Matthew Good. Trying to listen by my internet sucks, so I'm disconnecting a lot. Man, that's awful, Wind. Well, sounds good for that price. Oh yeah, it was like $120, and it's a great. Mind you, I've probably put like $400 worth of work into this guitar if I actually had to pay for it, and a nice set of strings and stuff like that. So it's as soon as you find a guitar that feels good to your hands, that's the guitar for you. It doesn't matter what it costs. As long as it feels good to you, that is the guitar that was built for you. Let's play Like a Bird by Black Label Society next. I sit back and I close my eyes, looking back at all the lows and all the highs. The highs. Through the black and white and the in-between, all the miles I've walked, the wars I've fought, and all I've seen. I've seen. It all seems like yesterday. Like a bird, time just fly. No sooner than you said hello. It's time, it's time, it's time to say goodbye. Consumed by worry, stress, and fear, never learning to live, but down by wondering why we're here. Collected memories, all that's in the end. I guess a sense of peace wasn't meant for some, my friend, my friend. It all seems like yesterday. Like a bird, time just fly. No sooner than you said hello. It's time, it's time, it's time to say good. It all seems like yesterday. Like a bird, time just fly. No sooner than you said hello. It's time, it's time, it's time to say goodbye. There we go. That was Like a Bird by Black Label Society. It's I mentioned I was a big fan of the heavy metal for a long time. I still love heavy metal. It's just I don't have a band to play it with anymore. So they all moved to Toronto just after high school, and that's a while ago now. I mean, I'm 19, the same as every other Twitch streamer, right? One day I want to play like you. I'm still in the beginning. Oh, that's awesome. I hope you don't have to have a brain bleed to get as good as I am. That's the fact I'm able to remember any music at all is amazing. I was in a band. I was in a band just out of high school. And then they went to college, and I didn't go to college, so I lost my band. I had an electric guitar then, and I went, well, I guess I'm going to play the acoustic now since I don't have anyone to play with anymore. Yep. This is a Downtown Train by Tom Waits. Outside another yellow moon punched a hole in the nighttime, yes. Climbed through the window and down to the street. I'm shining like a new dime. Downtown trains are full of all those Brooklyn girls. Try so hard to break out of their little worlds. Wave your hand, they shatter like gold. And nothing will ever capture your heart. They're just thorns without the rose. Be careful of them in the dark. If I wasn't one, chose to be the only one. Oh baby, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? See you tonight on a downtown train. Every night, it's just the same. You leave me lonely now. I know your window and I know it's late. I know your stairs and your doorway. You're speeding past your gate to the light of the four-way. Watch them as they fall. Oh, but they all have heart attacks. Stay in the car, I'll never win you back. I see you tonight on a downtown train. Every night, it's just the same. Oh baby, will I see you tonight on a downtown train? All of my dreams that fall like rain. Baby, on a downtown train. 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 I bought an acoustic so I can take it with me, but I'm also considering an electric for... That's the future, maybe. But that's for the future, maybe. Gotcha. If you have people to play with, then the electric is amazing. And if you have no one to play with, then the acoustic... Me and my acoustic guitar have spent a lot of time together in the past many years. Yeah, right on. That's what it boils down to, is anything that you can do to find joy in your music is amazing. This is Needle and the Damage Done by Neil Young. Knocking at my cellar door. I love you, baby, can I have some more? Oh, the damage done. I hit the city and I lost my band. I watched the needle take another man. Oh no, the damage done. Because I love the man. I know that someone you don't understand. Milk blood to keep from running out. I've seen the needle and the damage done. A little part of it in everyone. Every junkie's like a setting sun. There we go. That was Needle and the Damage Done by Neil Young. I'll play Bird on a Wire by Leonard Cohen next. drunk in a midnight choir. I have tried in my ways to be free, like a fish on a hook, like a knight in some old-fashioned book. I have saved all my ribbons for thee. If I have been unkind, I just hope that you will let it go by. If I have been untrue, I just hope you know it was never to you. Like a baby still born, like a beast with its home. I've torn anyone reached out to me, and I swear by this song and by all that I have done wrong, I will make it all up to thee. Saw a young man leaning on his wooden crutch. He called out to me, don't ask for so much. Young woman leaning in her darkened door, she cried out to me, why not ask for more? Like a bird on a wire, like a drunk in a midnight choir, I've tried in my ways to be free. Like a bird on a wire, like a drunk in a midnight choir, I've tried in my ways to be free. Why, thank you, Wind. I will do my very best to keep playing. Campfire vibes. That's 100% the kind of music I play. I play songs that you would jam around a campfire, because it's the joys of being by myself with an acoustic guitar. You know what, though? I'm going to play Wonderwall by Oasis next, and I'm going to probably fail terribly, because I don't really know this song yet. Doesn't mean I'm not going to try, though. A/F sharp. What's that one? All right. And what's B7 sus4? That's that one. Okay. Today is gonna be the day that you're gonna throw it back to you. By now I should have somehow realized what I'm gonna do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. Fine, I'm sure you figured it all before that you're never gonna leave it out. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. All the roads that lead you here are winding. All the lights that lead you here are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. 'Cause maybe gonna be the one that saves me. 'Cause after all, you're my Wonderwall. Today is gonna be the day that I'm never gonna throw it to you. By now I should have somehow realized what I'm gonna do. I don't believe that anybody feels the you now. All the roads that lead you here are winding. All the lights that lead you here are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. And maybe I'm gonna be the one that saves me. After all, you're my wonderwall. And then it's boo 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. Campfire vibe is a great way to describe it. Yes, it is. It's the... I don't know how to play that last part of the song, though. But that's okay. It's a two-part song, and I don't have second guitar. Enjoyed it. Thank you. I failed a little bit in the middle, but you probably didn't notice, and that's a pat myself on the back for hiding that. This is a song that everyone knows from when they were children. This is written by Jimmy Davis and Charles Mitchell in 1939. And you probably don't know it's that old, and that's okay. Sunshine, my only sunshine. Make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, when I was sleeping, dreamt I held you in my arms. And I woke up, dear, I was only dreaming. So I held my head and cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. I'll always love you and make you happy. You will only do the same. And if you leave me to love another, it will shatter all my dreams. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Told you once, dear, you really loved me, and no one else could come between. Now you've left me to love another, and it shattered all my dreams. All my sunshine, my only sunshine. Make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away. Like I said, that's You Are My Sunshine by Jimmy Davis and Charles Mitchell. 1939 was that song written. That's crazy. Boo-doo. We're gonna do Time by Tom Waits after that. Capo on 3 for this one. Smart money's on Harlow, the moon is in the streets, and the shadow boys are breaking all the laws. When you're east of East St. Louis and the wind is making speeches, The rain sounds like a round of applause. Napoleon is weeping in his carnival saloon. His invisible fiance's in the mirror. The band is going home. It's raining hammers, it's raining nails. It's true there's nothing left for him down here. It's time, time, time. It's time, time, time. It's time, time, time that you love. 'Cause it's time, time, time. They all pretend they're orphans. Their memory's like a train. You can see it getting smaller as it pulls away. The things you can't remember tell the things you can't forget. That history puts a saint in every dream. She said she'd stick around until the bandages came off. But these mama boys just don't know when to quit. Matilda asked the sailors, are those dreams or are those prayers? Close your eyes, son, and this won't hurt a bit. It's time, time, time. It's time, time, time. It's time, time, time that you love. 'Cause it's time, time, time. Well, things are pretty lousy for a calendar girl. The boys dive right off their cars and splash into the street. When you're on a roll, she pulls a razor from her boot. 1,000 pigeons fall around her feet. So put a candle in the window and a kiss upon his lips. The dish outside the window fills with rain. Just like a stranger with the weeds in your heart. Pay the fiddler off till I come back again. It's time, time, time. It's time, time, time. It's time, time, time that you love. 'Cause it's time, time, time. It's time, time, time. It's time, time, time. Cause it's time, time, time. So only sorry, Bray, I'm only getting seconds before the connection crashes. Curse our Canadian internets. I'll bail for now. That's okay, Hank. I appreciate you being here, honestly. Hope everyone enjoys the good tunes. I will. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, technology. Then stick around. That's the gist of it. Just means you have to stay here with me. This is gonna be Lucinda by Tom Waits. This is a song I just learned, and like I said, brain injury. So learning songs is more difficult than it used to be, but I'm just glad I can still do it, honestly. Capo on 3 for this one? Yep. Yeah. You're not wrong. Never. They call me William the Pleaser. I sold opium and fireworks and lead. Now I'm telling my troubles to strangers. When the shadows get long, I'll be dead. Now her hair as black as a bucket of tar. Her skin as white as a cuttlefish bone. Left Texas to follow Lucinda. Now I'll never see heaven or home. Made a wish on a sliver of moonlight. Sly grin and a bowl full of stars. Like a kid who captures a firefly. And leaves it only to die in a jar. As I kick at the clouds at my hanging, and I swing out over the crowd, I will search every face for Lucinda's, and she will go off with me down to hell. I thought I broke loose of Lucinda. The rain returned and so did the wind. Cast a burden of God that's within me. I will leave this whole world and go free. Devil dances inside empty pockets. Didn't want money or pearls. No, that wasn't enough for Lucinda. She wasn't that kind of girl. I've fallen from grace for Lucinda. Never thought that hell'd be so cold. A well old tin can sailor, and she wanted the belt in my soul. Spoken to God on the mountain, and I've swam in the Irish Sea. And I ate campfire and I drank from the Ganges, and I will beg this old mercy for me. Of Lucinda, the rain returned and so did the wind. Like I'm standing outside of the White Horse, and I was afraid to go in. I heard someone pull the trigger. Her breasts heaved in the moonlight again, as a smear of that gold in the window. And I was the jewel of her sin. They call me William the Pleaser. I sold opium and fireworks and lead. Now I'm selling my troubles to strangers. When the shadows get long, I'll be dead. But I'm black as a bucket of tar, her skin as white as a cuttlefish bone. Left Texas to follow Lucinda. Now I'll never see heaven or home. No, I'll never see heaven or home. No, I'll never see heaven or home. Itchy nose, itchy nose, itchy nose. That was Lucinda by Tom Waits. If you heard any Tom Waits, you'll understand why it's an interesting cover, because he's got a really raspy, gravelly voice. I learned that one for someone in one of my group meetings that I attend, but I have not played it for them. The next one's going to be Chocolate Jesus by Tom Waits. I don't go to church on Sundays. I don't get on my knees to pray. Don't memorize the books or the Bible. I got my own special way. I know that Jesus, he loves me, maybe just a little bit more. I fall down on my knees every Sunday at Sir Elderly's candy store. It's got to be a chocolate Jesus, make me feel good inside. It's got to be a chocolate Jesus and keep me satisfied. I don't want no wabba zabba, I don't want no almond joy. There ain't nothing better, more suitable for this boy. The only thing that can pick me up, it's better than a cup of gold. See, only a chocolate Jesus can satisfy my soul. When the weather gets rough and it's whiskey in the shade, it's best to wrap your savior up in cellophane. He flows like the big muddy, but that's okay. Pour him over ice cream for a nice parfait. It's got to be a chocolate Jesus, good enough for me. It's got to be a chocolate Jesus, good enough for me. It's got to be a chocolate Jesus, make me feel good inside. It's got to be a chocolate Jesus, keep me satisfied. Here we go, that was Chocolate Jesus by Tom Waits. I love that song. And yes, it has an interesting name, well, an awful name, I don't know. I like it though. Let's do Cats in the Cradle by Harry Chapin. Child arrived just the other day, came into the world in the usual way. There were planes to catch, bills to pay. Learned to walk while I was away, and he was talking for I knew it. And as he grew, said, I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when. We'll get together then, Dad. You know we'll have a good time then. My son turned 10 just the other day. Said, thanks for the ball, Dad, come on, let's play. Can you teach me to throw? I said, not today. Lot to do, he said, that's okay. He walked away and his smile never dimmed. He said, I'm gonna be like him, yeah. You know I'm gonna be like him. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when. We'll get together then, son. You know we'll have a good time then. Came home from college just the other day, so much like a man I just had to say, proud of you, can you sit for a while? He shook his head and he said with a smile, I really like that is to borrow the car keys. See you later, can I have them please? The cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when. We'll get together then, Dad. You know we'll have a good time then. Long since you're tired, my son's moved away. Called him up just the other day. Said I'd like to see you if you don't mind. I'd love to, Dad, if I could find the time. My new job's a hassling the kids with the flu. Sure nice talking to you, Dad. It's been sure nice talking to you. I hung up the phone, it occurred to me, he'd grown up just like me. My boy was just like me. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when. We'll get together then, Dad. You know we'll have a good time then. I learned about many songs here. Really have to note them down. Yes. This was Cats in the Cradle, originally by Harry Chapin, covered by Ugly Kid Joe. You might like the Ugly Kid Joe version better. Newer, but it's still good. They're all good. This is the painkiller. I don't know that song. Heck, I could try. I can't try that. Painkiller by Judas Priest is he has a really high voice. That's why I'm not doing that one, Jinta. This is the painkiller. This is Between Heaven and Hell by Zack Wilde. Die to live on to die. Ain't no lows here, nothing but goodbyes. Like singing a song cannot be sung. Like having to end child is yet to have begun, Lord. Hey, hey, hey now, how many times I just can't tell. Hey, hey, hey now, lost between heaven and hell. Yeah. Hey, hey, hey now, how many times I just can't tell. Hey, hey, hey now, I'm a lost somewhere between heaven and hell. All that you know and all that you knew. In the end, child, tell me what's it all mean to you. Don't forget just who and where you are. You can spread your wings, son, but don't you spread yourself too far. Hey, hey, hey now, how many times I just can't tell. Hey, hey, hey now, I'm lost between heaven and hell. Yeah. Hey, hey, hey now, how many times I just can't tell. Hey, hey, hey now, I'm lost somewhere between heaven and hell. There we go. That was Between Heaven and Hell by Zack Wilde. Do I have any doubles left? I don't have any doubles left. Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure, but my kids' approaches. Take care, Bray and Jinta. Thank you so much for being here, Wind. I appreciate it. You too. Wish you a nice rest day. Yes. This is Hurt by Johnny Cash, originally by 9 Inch Nails. I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I'll focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole, the old familiar sting. Try to kill it all away. I remember everything. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end, and you could have it all. My empire of dirt, I will let you down. I will make you hurt. I wear this crown of thorns upon my liar's chair, full of broken thoughts I cannot repair. Beneath the stain of time, feeling disappears. You are someone else, I am still right here. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end, and you could have it all. My empire of dirt, I will let you down. I will make you hurt. If I could start again, a million miles away, I would keep myself. I would find a way. Always love this song, yes. Always a good time. Have a good rest of your day as well, Jinta. Peace, everybody. After this song is, though. Can't leave just yet. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Jinta. Like I said, I had a hard time learning songs in the first place. So it's interesting to be able to relearn all of these songs all at once. This one I'm probably going to fail on because I don't know all these chords yet. That's okay, though. This is Strange Days by Matthew Good. Peace, wind. Good morning, don't cop out. I crawled from cancer to land at your feet. You're crazy, don't want this, even for a while. Making this shit up. The reason for being are easy to pay. Can't remember the others, just kinda went away. Driving, it's rush hour. Cars on the freeway are moving like slugs, and you drift off to wake up. You always hit the brakes. We're done in line for living here. Strange days have come and you're gone. You're gone. You're either dead or dying, dead or trying to go. Tired, you sleepwalk a robot out to the street. Crazy, don't want this, even for a while. You're driving, it's rush hour. The cars on the freeway are moving backwards into a wall of fire. 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 Done line for living. Strange days have come and you're gone. Oh yeah, that was Strange Days by Matthew Good. Not played completely correctly, but close enough. It's fine. I'm gonna do 13 by Johnny Cash next. Bad luck, wind been blowing at my back. I was born to bring trouble to wherever I'm at. Got the number 13 tattooed on my neck. When the ink starts to itch, well, the black will turn to red. I was born in the soul of misery, and I never had me a name. They just gave me a number when I was young. Got a long, light heartache, I carry it well. And the list of lives I've broken could reach from here to hell. Bad luck, wind been blowing at my back. I pray you don't look at me, I pray I don't look back. I was born in the soul of misery, and I never had me a name. They just gave me a number when I was young. I was born in the soul of misery, and I never had me a name. They just gave me a number when I was young. They just gave me a number when I was young. Oh, then the joke I've written at the bottom. That's the worst part about clams is they don't give anything to charity. They're basically shellfish. Oh, bad joke. Bad joke. That was there's something you forgot to do. I found it amazing that you're still able to play guitar. You and me both. The fact that both my arms still work, pretty awesome. They didn't both work at the start. That's the interesting part about my story is I started with no use of my right arm in the hospital. Right arm and right leg were non-functioning. So everything's back now, though. Other than I still have no short-term to long-term memory, but that's okay. This is Every Rose Has Its Thorn by Poison. We both lie silently still in the dead of the night. Although we both lie close together, we feel miles apart inside. Something I said and something I did, my words not come out right. I tried not to hurt you, I tried. Guess that's why they say the rose has its thorn, just like every night has its dawn. Like every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Every rose has its thorn. Listen to your favorite song playing on the radio. DJ says life's a game of easy coming, easy go. Does he know has it ever felt like this? I know that you'd be here right now if I could have let you know somehow. Still, the rose has its thorn, just like every like every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Every rose has its thorn. Though it's been a while now, I can still feel so much pain. Like a knife that cuts you, the wound heals, but the scar remains. Could have saved the love that night if I'd known what to say. Instead of making love, we both made our separate ways. Now I hear you found somebody new, and that I never meant that much to you. To hear that tears me up inside, and to see cuts me like a knife. I guess every rose has its thorn, just like every night has its dawn. Just like every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Every rose has its thorn. Yay! Poison. Poison. That's the name of the band. Neither good nor bad, but pretty good song, honestly. It's Gillian Anderson he's singing about. No? Maybe? That doesn't sound right. Oh well. Thank you so much. I don't know pick for this one. This is We Live No More by Black Label Society. You say you don't know what it's all about. Just look around, you'll see there is no doubt. The worms and maggots gather for the feast. An endless slave behind your belief. Oh, oh, choose what you wish to believe. Oh, oh, choose what you wish to see. Oh, oh, the hatred one can't ignore. The gathering begin, for we live no more. Can't erase the past that will not die. Life's countless suffering, your countless lies. Dead and buried peace, yet you turn away. Hate on hate was born and here to stay. Oh, oh, choose what you wish to believe. Oh, oh, choose what you wish to see. Oh, oh, the hatred one can't ignore. The gathering begin, for we live no more. Yeah, that was We Live No More by Black Label Society. This is Heart of Gold by Neil Young. expressions I never get here that keep me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. They keep me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. I crossed the ocean for a heart of gold. I've been in my mind. It's such a fine line that keep me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. They keep me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. Searching for a heart of gold. You keep me searching and I'm growing old, child. Keep me searching for a heart of gold. I've been a miner for a heart of gold. I just wanted to request that. It's so scary. Oh, that's awesome. That means you have a similar music taste. Pretty fancy. I don't know as much music as I used to, and that's the part that's difficult, because I used to probably know like 700 songs. I'm up to like 60 again though, so I'm getting better. Just I'm still missing a lot. This one is Suzanne by Leonard Cohen. Suzanne takes you down to a place near the river. You can hear the boats go by. You can spend the night beside her. Know that she's half crazy. That's why you want to be there. She feeds you tea and oranges that come all the way from China. When you mean to tell her you have no love to give her, oh, she gets you on her wavelength. She lets the river answer that you've always been her lover. And you want to travel with her, and you want to travel blind, and you know you can trust her, for she's touched your body with your mind. Jesus was a sailor when he walked upon the water. He spent a long time watching from his lonely wooden tower. When he knew for certain the drowning men could see him, he said, well, men will be sailors then, till the sea shall free them. Oh, for himself was broken, for the sky would open. Forsaken, almost human, we sank beneath your wisdom like a stone. Want to travel with him, and you want to travel blind, and you think maybe you'll trust him, for he's touched your perfect body with his mind. And Suzanne takes your hand and she leads you to the river. She's wearing rags and feathers from Salvation Army counter. Sun pours down like honey, Our Lady of the Harbor. Shows you where to look among the garbage, the flower. There are heroes in the seaweed, children in the morning, and they're leaning out for love. They'll lean that way forever while Suzanne holds the mirror. And you want to travel with her, and you want to travel blind, and you know you can trust her, for she's touched your perfect body with her mind. Want to travel with her, and you want to travel blind, and you think maybe you'll trust her, for she's touched your perfect body with her mind. travel with her, and you want to travel blind, and you know you can trust her, for she's touched your perfect body with her mind. There we go. That was Suzanne by Leonard Cohen. This is Born Losers by Matthew Good. There ain't nothing to this but your daughter. Life you would not give or break your plans. Drapes across the continent in a squatter. For your lies at night to sleep between my hands. When the lights go out, this whole place gets ugly. When they're out, all strangers fall in love. You can never say that flat out you don't want me. I could never say that halfway ain't enough. New orders on the turntable, we're dancing. What else do you do when you don't talk? Crucified to crawl into your mansion. Yeah, that's why I learned to crawl before I walk. We're back where we belong. Straight back where we belong. No days for nights. No cocaine gone. Just back where we belong. Take me out back to your piranha and beat me until I can't even stand. Your whole life a plane without no landing gear. So if this is it, then come on, let me land. That trailer trash pedigree is calling. Rats you out when you're down on all fours. Me, I like to cast my death on yesterday. What doesn't kill us now just makes us better whores. We're back where we belong. Straight back where we belong. No days for nights. No cocaine gone. Just back where we go put it in the ground. Go bury it somewhere it can be found. Go put it in the ground. Well, there ain't nothing to this but your daughter. A life you would not give or break your plans. Drapes across the continent in a squatter. For your lies at night to sleep between my hands. There we go. That was Born Losers by Mr. Matthew Good. I no longer have any songs left in my regular tabs folder. But I could go back and play one song again, which I think I will do. I'm so bad at strumming patterns. Actually, strumming patterns and me don't really get along either. To be as honest as possible about it, I kind of make them up. As long as you're strumming like to a beat, you just gotta tap your foot and hope that you're doing something right. And as long as you can follow that pattern over and over again, I guess that's what counts. There you go. I'm gonna play Between the Lines by Matt Anderson. He'll come out of nowhere and treat you to wine. He'll speak to your body and then to your mind. You follow him home. He'll show you a time. Keep your heart between the lines. Roses for healing and chocolate for time. Kisses to make up, to apologize. He leans in with innocent eyes. Keep your heart between the lines. What's your hurry? Why so fast? These days lay before you will soon be your past. Don't settle for love, that'll leave you behind. Only take the best from whatever you find. No matter how hard, you've got to try. Keep your heart between the lines. No matter how hard, you've got to try. Keep your heart between the lines. I've always wanted to play Riptide, and now every time I try and play, it ends up strumming patterns of this song. Riptide is I don't remember what that song is. I know that song though. I have to try my hardest to change it. The song you just heard me play there is by Matt Anderson. He's a fairly heavy-set acoustic guitarist. I think he's from the east coast of Canada. Vance Joy. Vance Joy. I have a hard time putting together those previous thought processes. That's the bad part about my brain bleed. Is that the aphasia and me don't get along. Let's see if there's anyone online to raid. Matter how long you've got to try. Twitch. Pause. We certainly have someone worth raiding, so we're going to raid Sifu. Sifu underscore. Nope, that's not what I'm trying to type. Oh gosh. Gaming? How do you spell this name? Gaming. Oh gosh. There we go. And thank you all for being here. I appreciate everyone. Honestly, that's amazing. I'm glad you were all here. And with that, I will catch you guys later. Goodbye. Thank you so much.